If I were to ask you, are narcissists truly intelligent or really stupid? What will be your answer? Most of you might say, oh, they're really intelligent. Why? Well, they manipulate people so well. They're masters of gaslighting and they distort your reality. That's true, that's a fact. And they destroy lives as well. Of course, undeniable. But I don't think that is their intelligence. You can call it their predatory nature. That is the hallmark of their evil nature, not intelligence. True intelligence is about awareness. That's the first thing. Anybody who claims to be intelligent would be really aware of their strengths as well as their shortcomings. But you and I both know when it comes to a narcissist, they only and selectively remain aware of their fake strengths. They do not want to look within. They do not want to reflect on their actions, which means they lack foresight and they lack insight as well. Is that intelligence? I don't think so. They do not have any emotional IQ. So you tell me, is that what intelligence is all about? I don't think so. Being able to deal with numbers and logically thinking about things is not intelligence. That's not what it is all about. That's just a part of it. They are clever, but not intelligent. Let me prove it to you in this episode. Let's talk about 3 silly habits narcissists believe make them look smarter. If that sounds interesting to you, stay until the very end because number 3 is super interesting. And also make sure to subscribe if you are new to my channel. I'm your host, Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional, a psychologist, and a trauma professional as well. Number 1, virtue signaling through authentic criticism. Narcissists have evolved enough to know they can't put other people down openly because if they were to do so, they will be exposed. People will see through their facade and know they are deeply jealous of others and they are filled with hatred, which is what makes them so envious. An example of this could be a professional who is extremely jealous of their competitor. You go to them and you bring up the other person, their expertise. You casually do it. It will trigger this narcissist who is deeply envious, but they know how to be careful, how to appear elite and sophisticated. So this is something they might say, well, the person that you're talking about doesn't have any real life experiences. I have earned these scars. I know what I'm talking about. Unlike them, they make stuff up. They have not been through what they claim to be a victim of. I am raw, I am real, I am truthful. I am what I say I am. And that's how I know what I know. They don't tell you, ditch that person, don't even talk about them. They virtue signal. They appear to be virtuous, truthful, but in reality, they are deceitful and really stupid. How? How do we know that? How does this virtue signaling turn out to be their silly habit? Well, look at their actions. If you were to pay attention to details, you will notice this person who claims to be real and better than the person they're putting down is copying, subtly copying their work. You will see the same things, the same style, the way they treat their patients, the way they shape their workplace. Everything is nothing but a replica of the person they are putting down. Isn't that sheer stupidity? It is, because on one hand, you claim to be better. I am far more intelligent, elite than that person. I don't want to even hear their name. But on the other hand, you are doing exactly what you are jealous of. Virtue signaling through giving authentic feedback does not make them a leader in any field. It makes them a stupid clown who says a lot but has nothing to show in real. Silly habit number 2, constantly interrupting conversations to showcase their fake deep knowledge of the subject. Interruptions are annoying. Nobody wants to be interrupted, but A narcissist, oh, they're all in. This is the reason why I say it's better to bang your head against a wall than have a conversation with a narcissist, because you will go round and round in circles. And at the end of every conversation, you will feel drained. When interrupting a conversation, they will drop in unsolicited advice, suggestions nobody asked for. They will derail you from the topic at hand and talk about something different. You're talking about biology, they'll talk about technology, just to make it seem like, oh, they know how to connect dots between subjects that cannot be connected, at least at a superficial level. And they have this in depth understanding of how systems work. When they interrupt and continuously speak and drop in big words they do not understand, in their head, it's like they're giving a performance. Oh, everybody must be so pleased with me. They must think I'm such a knowledgeable person. Look at these fools. I've got them thinking I have big brains. Oh, they're all waiting for more knowledge that I have to offer. That is their perception. That is their fantasy. That is the narcissistic delusional reality. But you and I know what is actually happening. People are annoyed and they see their constant interruptions as the markers of their stupidity. Who does that? You have no patience. You can't listen. You have to keep talking. You have to keep bringing focus back to yourself. You must be really immature. That's what happens in reality. But the narcissist does not want to accept that. What they also do is they continuously correct your mistakes. You're not pronouncing a word correctly, they will instantly interrupt you. They will completely disregard the message and say, this word must not be pronounced like that. Here is the correct pronunciation. Oh, your grammar, that sucks. Why is it stupid and so unintelligent? Well, when you're having a conversation with your loved one and they're expressing their feelings and they're opening up to you, all you do is focus on their words, their vocabulary, their pronunciation. Like, how superficial and dead you must be to do that. There can be nothing more invalidating than telling your partner, oh, that word, I'm just so pissed off right now because you used the wrong word. That's the best way to anger them. That's the best way to tell them your emotions do not matter. Number three, I've had personal experiences with this one. They love to tell you grandiose stories. They relish in the supply they get when they portray themselves as a hero who supposedly outsmarted their colleagues, who outmaneuvered their family members, their acquaintances. They relish the idea that you must think they're so clever, or they are street smart, they know how to deal with the world. When did it become normal to shame others? When did it become normal to put people down, to make them feel they're powerless? When did it become normal and worthy of appreciation to establish control? When did it become normal to laugh at other people's flaws and faults? When did it become normal to weaponize a person's innocence, their love for you? It's not normal. Here is my personal experience with this. For almost 10 to 15 years, my father, every single night at dinner time, when all of us would sit in the same place and share a meal, sit together and eat, he would start talking about what happened at his office. A lot of people do that. But it was not a general sharing of things. In every single story, he was the hero. He was the one who had outmaneuvered the other person, who had told them off, who had shamed them, put them in their place, pointed out their flaws, or did something wrong or horrible he was not supposed to do. Every single time. And I still remember to this day that smile on his face, that laughter, that demonic laughter. I hate the sound of it. How his eyes would pop out, and you were supposed to maintain eye contact because he would tell you the story and you had to nod your head. Wow. You had to show excitement. That's great. And ask questions, open-ended questions. How did you feel after that? must have been a great experience for you. As a kid, I remember thinking, how stupid is this man who is telling all these stories to his kids who are really vulnerable and have no options at all? These kids who are supposed to agree with what he says. And in reality, he's a weakling, he's a coward. He would stammer when talking to strangers. Now, I'm not shaming those who do it. I struggled with it. It could be a trauma response. But what I'm saying is the contrast, the difference between what he so passionately talked about and what he did in reality. Those stories were a part of his fantasy to overcome the shame he continuously struggled with. Have you experienced something like this with the narcissist you were abused by? If yes, drop your experiences in the comments below. That was number 3. Before we end, a small announcement. I just want you to know I am doing an online 3-hour long webinar happening August 31st this month and September 7th. This workshop will be all about learning how to release and heal grief post narcissistic abuse. I will help you understand why the grief is so complex, why that pain is not going away, and what you can do about it. If you want to register and secure your spot at an early bird price, click the link in the description of this episode. With that, let's bring this one to an end. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.